I know some of you are watching this and you're in an area that we don't service yet, and you're wondering, when are you coming here? I promise you, we want to be there already. But there's a lot that goes into that recipe so that the day that we cut the ribbon and you come in and sign a contract, you can have the same experience that customers have come to know and expect from our company in this new market, just as well as any other market we service. What's up, everybody? I am sitting in the showroom of our Dunn, North Carolina design center, and I'm excited to talk about Dunn because Dunn was the first expansion out of South Carolina, and it was the very first showroom where we brought this model that everyone has come to know. It is a complete design center. So when you walk in the front door, the entire space is handcrafted and designed for you to be able to walk through and turn your dreams into reality by being able to see, these beautiful kitchen examples, see all of our flooring samples and showroom of tiles and selections and fixtures and faucets and everything to make it convenient for you if you're located in Eastern North Carolina. So how did Dunn come to be? What brought us here? Well, we had so much demand across the state of North Carolina, and we were able to service a lot of it out of our upstate South Carolina office because we're only 45 minutes from the North Carolina border. But there was so much interest on the eastern side of the state that we decided to kind of test the market about a year ago. And you guys showed up and onboarded in dozens and dozens. And so we brought the first ever Barndo Co showroom and placed it right here in Dunn. So how did we get here? You have tons of options, right? You look at where all the growth is happening. You got growth happening everywhere in North Carolina. You've got Raleigh, which Raleigh's so big, it's like a mini Atlanta. Like you say you live in Raleigh, you might live in Cary. You're outside of the city, you're outside of where it's growing, but that's the area. Then you also have Fayetteville. Fayetteville is an incredible hotbed for, military families and growth, and it's just sprawling. And then you go out towards the coast, you have the town of Leland, right outside of Wilmington. That's just a booming metropolis area. And so what we did was kind of looked at all the spots where growth is happening. And Dunn sat right in the middle. It was right along the I-95 corridor. It was a couple exits down from the I-40 corridor. It put us in a position where we could reach you no matter where you were, spread across this territory that we've defined out here in Eastern North Carolina. And we knew that you wanted to be able to access us conveniently. So Dunn was on the map. Now, I have to be honest, I was a little bit biased with the Dunn area because my family is from this area. So I grew up coming to this little town my whole entire life. Come up here and visit my extended family, come up and see some friends. But never did I dream that we would be operating in the town of Dunn. So it was kind of a secret weapon that I think I have. Like a lot of people might have just went straight past this on a map and never thought about it. But I knew that it was strategically located between Fayetteville and Raleigh, and it's just an hour or so away from Leland, which gives us the ability to hit the entire geography of Eastern North Carolina where we know you want to build Barndos and we want to build them for you. So it brought us to this incredible town, and it was awesome to come back in and bring something to the town where so much of my family had lived their whole entire life and have the opportunity to take this vision and this dream for this company, bring it to Eastern North Carolina, and plant it right in the heartland of where my dad and his extended family is from. So let's talk a little bit about the logistics behind all of this. Like the opportunity to come to Eastern North Carolina was met because the demand was there. There's so much growth happening in the area. The crazy part about it is Dunn, as much as it's almost like a flyover town, we have more volume of interest in this market than any of our markets. We have more leads coming in, more opportunities coming in. There's more raw land available. So if you're in the Eastern North Carolina market and you've got land or you're looking for land and you have this intention to go and build, we want to be able to service you. We want you to be able to walk into the doors of this showroom and have the same experience as if you had flown down to Greenville, South Carolina and walked into our corporate headquarters and met with us one-on-one. This was kind of the spark that lit the growth. The moment we came here, because we started in upstate of South Carolina, we went down to Summerville. I did an episode showing the brand new Summerville location that we went back and built an entirely different office in Summerville. Once we seen how well this model worked here in Dunn. But this expansion was kind of the one that allowed us to go, this is possible in more communities. And we kind of reinvented our entire process to be able to bring this product to you quickly, efficiently, and to make it look and feel as good or better than where we started. So expanding into Dunn had a number of obstacles. And I like to talk about this because I want to educate you guys as consumers, because I know some of you are watching this and you're in an area that we don't service yet and you're wondering, when are you coming here? I promise you, we want to be there already. But there's a lot that goes into that recipe so that the day that we cut the ribbon and you come in and sign a contract, you can have the same experience that customers have come to know and expect from our company in this new market, just as well as any other market we service. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that we did well and some of the things we didn't, and how we've improved that so that we can get to here today. When we first planted our second location in Somerville, it was very much an office environment. We kind of rebuilt what we had at our corporate headquarters and tried to restructure that down there in Somerville. It was not very client facing. It was not designed in a way to where clients could walk in and get an experience there. It was more so like an office designed to serve our needs as a company, to be able to office our people, put staff on the ground, and be able to go out and deliver product. What we figured out was people really didn't want to drive all the way across the state to come into a showroom and sit down and pick selections. People didn't want to look at photos of houses. They didn't even want to go out in the field and tour houses as much as they wanted to walk in and see the selections. And when we went from building 15 to 20 of these to building 200 of these, we knew that this was a necessary next step. So we knew that, right? We had been in Somerville and we knew that that model was not the model. And we knew we had tons of demand in North Carolina, but North Carolina also posed one more level of a hurdle. We had to become licensed builders in the state of North Carolina. Completely different thing, completely different laws, completely different lingo, based around the same general concept, right? Because we're all building to international residential builder standards, but we had to go out and get the license. That was step one. Number two, we had to familiarize ourselves with the territory and the terrain and understand what kind of hurdles and obstacles might we encounter here that we didn't encounter where we were previously building. Because North Carolina and South Carolina, really close sister states, vastly different at the municipality level. So we had to do some research and figure those things out. So all of that kind of bled into one. And then when we got here, we were able to launch with a brand new idea, a brand new vision for what it would look like to service customers at a customer-facing level, and put our needs as a corporate headquarters kind of secondary, and make the majority of the space client interacting and make it as enjoyable of an experience as possible for anybody coming in to build. So we got here. That was kind of the birthplace of growth for us, to where we realized, hey, what we did in our home state, we could do in this state. And it kind of became a launch pad for future growth. So right off the heels of this plant, we went many miles to the west and crossed another state line and planted our Seymour office. And then we've since came back and opened up Greensboro, and we have plans for future addition right here in the state of North Carolina, in addition to all the other expansion that we're doing to reach new territories and make new dreams come true in new markets. But in doing it, like, a lot of people have this question of like, hey, I see you guys as an upstate South Carolina-based company. If I'm going to trust you to build my forever home out here in eastern North Carolina or eastern Tennessee or northwest Georgia, how do I know that you guys are going to be able to take the care and consideration in to doing that? Well, what we've done is we've basically took the entire process from what was working in the upstate, and we've replicated it at each individual level. So when you walk into any of our satellite offices, they're not just little stores, little franchise models of a bigger corporate collective. They're actually designed to operate in and of themselves. You're going to have a local project manager. These people live in this community. They're experienced with building in this community. They have relationships at the county and municipality level. You're going to have salespeople that live and work in this environment, that know what's trending here, that know, what might not go over well in the market here. They live here. They know. They make it better. So you're not dealing with a big corporate conglomerate. You're dealing with real local people with the same general mission is to build community in the community with people that share our values, so that we're holding the same line, the same standard, the same everything in this market as we do in any other market. You got the same timeline to build. You have the same onboarding process. You have the same design standard meeting. You have the same everything. So whether you're in Barndo in Dunn, Barndo in Duncan, Barndo in Somerville or Conway or Greensboro or Seymour, or down in a brand new Gainesville, Georgia location, you're walking in and having the exact same experience as everyone else in every location. And that's only possible by getting really clear on what the expectation should be, building out a roadmap, creating a system that we can scale and multiply. And we hope you're watching this in a market that we're not in, and you know that our intention is to be in your backyard soon.